Welcome back to another week of I Am Sound Behind the Scenes. We have this saying in the house, and it's only in Ibiza, because there's some really nuts, magical, bonkers things happening. And what was that? Obviously, that was another nuts and bonkers thing, so we'll just get on with it. But the idea is that, things happen that are just, which really don't make sense, that should never really happen, but they do here. So there's plenty of things to tell you about this week, and I'll start with number one. Obviously, getting the house was a little bit tricky. I had to get somebody else that was in the house out before I could move in. And let's say that they were very partial to ayahuasca, which is the psychedelic inducing drink from deep in the jungle that lots of people are taking. And basically, there was a bottle of ayahuasca, and it was left in a sparkling water bottle. So they'd obviously just poured this sacred ayahuasca drink into a plastic bottle and decided to just leave it in the fridge. So when I moved in, I had to get rid of the ayahuasca that was in the fridge, which was a bit weird because somebody almost drunk it as well, which would have been the worst. But luckily we managed to catch it before anybody downed that ayahuasca and went to another dimension for the afternoon. So that was number one. Crazy thing number two. We have this package that was left in the freezer, and it looks like 2 bars of something. So we're not sure whether it's cannabis, peyote, mushrooms, or just random normal fudge, chocolate as a gift. We're not sure. So at some point we'll give this a go when we're feeling adventurous. And we'll all probably take a little chunk, but we know that it is definitely not just normal ingredients because it's been vacuum packed. So there's something magical inside. Do you want some? What do you think it is? It's catnip. So yeah, we're going to experiment with this on an evening when we don't have any work the following day. So this was just kindly left in the freezer, and we'll either enjoy it or regret it. We're not quite sure, but either way, it'll be fun finding out, and we'll probably film it and let you know how we got on with surprise number 2. Random thing number 3 is there's been some interesting energy floating around the house, and a few people have been having crazy dreams in certain rooms, and the energy's been a bit weird. We had a little episode where someone thought that somebody was climbing on them in the middle of the night, but there was nothing there. And there's been some mystery items left around the house which don't really make any sense, but because we're in Ibiza and we know magic exists and it's all things are possible, we are very tuned in to there being other energies and entities around us, because this is the area that we work in. We work in the science and the magic, so both are entirely possible, and have been proven to be so. So we know when there's something going on, especially me. And so what I did was decide to make sure that we smudged the whole house, and that we, by smudging I mean that you're getting the sage, you're burning it, and you're basically removing any negative energies, and you're just clearing up the field around the house. But what we did do was go and get mirrors from the charity shop, and we got 7 mirrors for the house, and then some weird stuff started happening. So unfortunately, in my past, I've actually had an episode with mirrors where there's been energies coming through the mirrors because they actually act as portals. And this may sound crazy, but it's very real. So you have to smudge them and be really careful with them. So I basically smudged all the mirrors and had them all out here. And there's a certain way, it is very witchy, but there's a certain way of smudging and cleansing mirrors that you need to follow before you invite the energy, because you don't know who that mirror has been before, you don't know who's looked in it, you don't know what's going on with it. So as nuts as this sounds, it was very real, and I spent an afternoon smudging mirrors and getting rid of wizard sticks and wizard staffs and poisonous flowers that were left in the house, and other random stuff that you just typically find in a house when you take it over in Ibiza. The final random thing, which I feel is the best, we decided to get the decks out on the back of that where the pool is, which we'd not had before. And so there was only 7 or 8 of us around the pool, and we were playing our music. And yeah, I didn't expect this to happen, but it did, and now I'm very glad that it did. But we'll let you see what happened behind the scenes. So I literally get a house in Ibiza, and my landlord, we finally put the decks outside by the pool, and we've got really loud music going, not really loud, it's loud, but Paris is on the decks, and my landlord comes round with his 2-year-old daughter, and instead of saying turn it down, he says watch her while I dance, and here's my USB stick, let me get on the decks and turn it up. So this is my landlord. The sound to see what it was going to be like, but only in my life would I get the landlord to come round with his own USB stick to get on the decks, so I might get on them as well. It's been a while. So as you can see, there is some weird stuff going down, and we've only been here 6 weeks, and there will be much more, I'm sure. Between different ceremonies that were held here, I'm hearing that there was lots going on the land. There was lots of ayahuasca ceremonies, there was lots of peyote ceremonies, there was some weird stuff happening. So our job is just to clean this space and to really kind of bring harmony back to the house and to the land, and to come from a good, clean, white witchy kind of space that is, you know, full of presence. And I feel truly gifted, and I have a really strong connection and faith, and I believe in God, and I know that we're safe. But along the way, it does make, you know, for a mystery fun tour, makes things a little bit more interesting. So we will be back next week with maybe some more mysteries, and yeah, you get to see how random things become as we go along. So thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already checked out our website, it's www.imsound.tv. Go and check out what we're doing, and if you want to become a founder member and join in some of the magic, then please do so. We'll see you next week.